Michael Cook. Mike, good to see you. How you been?
Gary, good to see you. Thank you for having me again.
No
I'm
problem.
Good.
Now, you always come up north for the firefighters event in Coralville, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
How'd that go?
My gosh, this year it was fantastic. I mean, granted, it's always a solemn time of remembrance and that, but it's my music and everything has been very well received. In fact, this year they even kind of, I guess in a way, honored me because inside the normal memorial brochure they had a little insert. They told about me from day one about doing the music out there since 1995. Wow.
And your background with firefighting goes to the Vietnam War, your family history as well, correct?
That is correct, yeah. Both grandfathers were firefighters. Dad, of course, was a Marine, so I'm a Marine brat. But, yeah, he kind of regrets that when he finished the Marines, he didn't take the fire department test, yeah.
So, it's offered you a great opportunity to do so many things in your life.
It has. Every time the door opened, I took the challenge. Granted, I moved away from Clinton, started having fire chief offers and that, military connected. And I fire chief 4 places in Louisiana. And man, the fire service in Louisiana has been good to me.
And you were telling me people are going to have an opportunity to listen to you tonight. You're downtown.
But yeah, Brooke Bryan, Book's kind enough to have me at the View tonight for a special show starting at 7.
And what else are you doing while you're here?
Oh gosh, one more show at the Clinton Arts Center next Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. So people, you can catch some true Louisiana swamp pop music. Things you're going to tap your feet to, you want to dance, things you don't get to hear up here.
Your music background goes back to when, the garage bands were pretty popular in the day. Of course, you guys advanced well beyond a garage band. What were some of the other groups that were around when you guys were playing?
Oh gosh, the Union Jacks. We had the Trenton Five, the Aardvarks, the 360 Triangle. Those were, all of our buddies and that. And we kind of bounced off each other and see who was doing what. Yeah, it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Good time.
And do you still keep in touch with some of the guys yet?
I try to, yeah. I do try to. Health, unfortunately, time passes on. Some of the guys have passed away. So, yeah, this is life.
Now, you brought in a CD.
Oh, yes, my CD. Now, you're getting an advance copy today.
Excellent.
I had 100 advance copies made for my friends and a little promotional. It's not barcoded yet. I still got all the legal process to get through, so it'll be on the web. But since 1965, I have always been on everybody else's albums, CDs, 45s. All these years, so I said, I'm going to do one. So I did an album. In fact, I was in the studio last year. I laid down 33 songs. I figured I was going to knock out 3 albums, have 10 songs on each album, and 1 song to scrap if I didn't like it. I didn't like the albums because I was too perfect. So we did a live recording, and the live recording, you got everything. Crowd interaction, people clapping, me interacting with the crowd. I got even a train horn in the background. There's a police car going by. Yeah, it was a live show down in Louisiana, and it turned out fabulous, and it turned out to be a double CD.
So it's live at the Polk Theater. Tell us about the Polk Theater.
The Polk Theater, of course, was built for the city of Leesville by the engineers of Fort Polk many years ago. And, it's kind of like our open-air band shell.
So you're in here to talk a little bit about Jerry Lee Lewis as well.
The honor of my life. Oh my gosh. I was the only musician in the world to play live music at Jerry's funeral. And this was quite a long time connection, or a promise made many years ago. It goes back to the weekend of Princess Diana's passing. Okay. Fire Chiefs Conference was in New Orleans that week, and Sandra, my late girlfriend, was with me. So I said, you know what? I says, you want a dog leg off of here? I says, and we'll swing by Faraday and see Frankie Jean at the museum and just get caught up on visiting and that. She says, let's go. So, and Frankie Jean and Sandra were just the best of friends. And so I'm in the museum there. It's the old Lewis house. It's converted to a museum, kind of a big home. And I'm drifting off, checking out memorabilia. And then Sandra's telling Frankie Jean about my Cajun send-off that I do. Cajun send-off to everybody. This is a lot of at the VA cemetery in and that and the other cemeteries. A lot of times I have buddies that have passed away from the war and that, and sometimes firefighter buddies, and I will dress in the appropriate uniform. I will take my Zydeco accordion with me, and at the close of the ceremony, I will do one stanza of Amazing Grace on the accordion, and I do it very solemn and slow with lots of extra chords so it embellishes, it sounds nice, if I can brag. And I get everybody to sing the first verse of Amazing Grace with me at the end there, and it really completes the ceremony. I call it, the Cajun send-off. And so I kind of had a reputation for that. So Sandra told Frankie Jean, hey, this is what Michael's been doing. And Frankie Jean they called me back in the kitchen there because, and so the two girls were having coffee, and Frankie Jean says, did you know Jerry is sick again? I said, no, I didn't. He says, yeah, now look, he says, he's really in rough shape. If he passes, you got to promise me you will play at his funeral. And of course, her two daughters, Jerry's nieces, of course, got informed of the promise. And so after all these years, oh my gosh, Jerry passes, and here I am.
Now, your connection with his sister, how'd that come about?
It was one of those events. I'm on my way back. I serve on the State Fire Marshal's Committee, and I thought, I was going to go back to Faraday. And so many, many years ago, I can't put a date on it. I don't know, 30, 35 years ago. It's been a long time. I just stopped there, and one thing led to another. And I told Frankie Jean this, that, and everything else. And so, yeah, music-wise, I had an opportunity. Well, I was going to be in Jerry's new band in 19. Okay, I was going to start with the brand new band at the New Orleans Jazz Fest of 19. Of course, it got canceled by COVID, and unfortunately, Jerry suffered a stroke in February of 19, so that never happened. And then my connection with Jerry Lee Lewis goes back further. It's 1983, the Lake Charles Civic Center, the band. I was in a great country band at that time. We opened up for Jerry Lee. It was on a Wednesday night. And that Tuesday, just before that Wednesday, was the day Jerry got out of the hospital in Memphis. It was his first concert after his long, 6 or 8 weeks he was in the hospital with that stomach bleeding problem. Too many pills and too many Jack Daniels.
Again, visiting with Mike Cook. Great to see you, Mike. What about a book? I understand you're doing a book or have done a book. Or...
Yeah, my Vietnam book, that I came here with last year. Yes. Well, I got it rebranded, republished, and I'm going to be at the International Book Show in Chicago at McCormick Place on the 24th of this month. I got a spot there. They want me in full uniform. Hopefully the book will get picked up by a major publishing house like Random or Doubleday or somebody like that. And I have some introductions with some Hollywood producers.
Do you have a manager at all, or who takes care of all this?
Man, I just start the day and run, man.
I would think so. So now when you're back in Clinton, who are some of the people, where are some of the places you go to reconnect with your hometown?
Oh gosh, I got a lot of buddies, from school and that they got their own little mom and pop businesses downtown, so I have to stop and see everybody, and sometimes they always have little trinkets that I get to take home with. And then I hit most of the favorite eating places around here. Clinton, believe it or not, has a lot of good Italian pizza, so yeah, this is always a mecca to come back to.
All right, very good. So what's up next for you after you visit us here in the Midwest?
Oh my gosh, I got to get back to Louisiana. I got so much to do. I am the post musician at the fort, so they miss me. I'm playing the organ there every Sunday for all the chaplains at the post. So things are good there. And then I got several buddies in bands that I played with out of Lake Charles. A couple of the Cajun big names and that. When their keyboard players are sick, they'll call me and say, "Hey, Chief," because everybody down there calls me Chief. And out of a respect, and plus they've called me the Chief of the keyboard since 1976 for a real cool reason.
Yeah, I would think so. Now, do you still dress up as the Union Jacks? Do you do that at all anymore?
No. As you can see,
the top hat. You still got the top hat.
Oh yeah, I got several top hats. I make my own bling. I make a lot of my clothes are hot rodded and tailor made. I got a gal that tailors a lot of my stuff.
Do you have any nudies? Any nudie suits?
No, that's not really my style.
Okay, that's more along the country lines.
Yeah, it is country.
So again, thank you so much for stopping by. I always appreciate catching up with you. How did you land in Louisiana?
Oh, fire protection. When Chemplex was first built out here, they didn't have an organized fire brigade and they came to us. I was president of the Mutual Aid Association. So I found out that, boy, industrial firefighting is a whole different thing than what us Clinton firefighters are exposed to. So I found out about Texas A&M having basically a compact 1-week industrial firefighting school. I went down there. I met some people. They liked it, my military background. They thought I had a lot in the ball. And one of them says, I might have an opening for you later in the year. And I thought, well, that was nice. He took my information, and then I thought, and, so this was August, and I thought, yeah, the months went on, nothing happened. Well, like the first part of December, they got a plane ticket in that. Come on down, see if you want to take a look at our job here. And so I was offered the job of fire protection boss, if you want to call it that, chief of Olin Chemicals in Lake Charles. And so that started my career, man. It was great.
And you love it down there?
I love it, man. I'm baptized Cajun now. Oh, heaven, yeah. Bienvenue à Louisiana.
So what is the lifestyle of occasion like? I mean, the food's got to be amazing, I would think.
Food, music, a great friendship. I mean, we do a lot to help each other. It's a very, very warm, very respectful community. Of course, we're mostly all military directed. And oh my gosh, if somebody breaks down the side of the road, hey, I'll be there in 10 minutes. What do you want me to bring? Tools and money? Well, yeah, we all help each other out. And great times in church, great times in community events. Everybody comes together. It's great.
Great to see you. So again, tonight, downtown.
7 o'clock at The View at Brook Byams Club on 5th Avenue. Historic downtown Clinton. Yeah, man.
There you go. Hey, Mike, thanks so much. Great to see you. Let's check the weather now. It's brought to you by Awesome Car Wash.
Tonight we'll have a low of 56 with partly cloudy skies. Friday we'll have a high of